Alrighty, welcome back to Satisfactory. I took a little bit of a break, obviously, had some food, and then I came back onto the game, and I actually did something a little bit different. I went over to the blueprint save that I talked about, and I designed a little bit more blueprints to use for here, and I finally added those to this save. So we're going to try and use some of these going forward, so that it's a little bit easier for me to do things. Because now instead of just being like, oh hey, I could, doing a zoop of random foundations, I could say just boom, just add an entire grid, or I can be like, hey, we need a bunch of fucking smelters set up. This is not actually one of the ones I'm going to be using. This is a different test one that actually needs to get moved. But yeah, so we're going to have some blueprints. I don't have anything too crazy, and these are all made by me. But I'm not going to like left click and deploy a 10-story super factory. Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually we'll go through that kind of process whenever I actually unlock Blueprint Design 3 within the world. Though I don't really like making blueprints with limited resources. It's a little bit awkward. Also, designing stuff and not having everything unlocked can be a little frustrating too. But yeah, everything that we'll be using is stuff that we have, basically. There might be some like small things, because you can have like you can have stuff that you might not have normally. Nothing huge, but just like say, okay, hold on, I'm lost it. There we go. Roads. Say with roads, I can make asphalt. Even though we don't have asphalt unlocked, we can those can have patterns on them, even though I don't have patterns unlocked. I think those are very small things, but I just want to at least acknowledge that that is a thing that can happen. But we're running over here real quick, because while I was trying to figure some stuff out, I tried to like put my factory here into Satisfactory Modeler to try and be like, okay, how much am I outputting overall? And I noticed when I was doing that I apparently just never connected these constructors. So, oopsies. Let's go ahead and fix that. Because I saw that this is all like backed up, and Satisfactory Modeler was like, actually, you should be at a deficit. You do not have enough to supply all of these. And I went, okay, well, I don't believe you. If that's true, watch. And I came over here, and everything's full. Everything's full. The storage unit up here is full. This one too. Oh, hold on. I thought to myself, now wait a second. It shouldn't be that full. Yeah, okay, that's at least settled. I should also upgrade the mark belts on this so that they clear out faster. And then let's get back to work on trying to figure out iron factory stuff. While I run back, I'll move that other factory out. Let's see, I think this one, yeah, this one is one I made in May. Not one of the ones I made last night. Ugh, burning. Edit. Get out of here. You're junk. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not really what I need, and it's not built in the way that I'm gonna be building stuff now. Not that I have like a dedicated design figured out. It's all improv. But yeah, the stuff I made within the last like 10 hours or so, with some sleep in between too, should be a little bit better off for what we need. And in because of that, I will probably be doing, rather than doing what we were going to do here, which was just overclock a bunch of smelters and constructors, I will probably now actually make the lines. Since I can now do, rather than it being like a million clicks to set up 30 smelters or 30 constructors, it is now like 1 to 3 clicks, give or take. But I still have to make the rest of the base here, so let's get that figured out. How am I going to expand this upwards so that we actually have the resources going up to another floor? And how high am I gonna make it? Let's get, hold on. Okay, I need foundation floor, or 4, vertical. I don't think I'm gonna do anything too crazy for this. In terms of like measuring this out, I will just, I think I'll do this. Enough clearance to have space for conveyors when they go up, if needed. Though these are going to be just going into conveyor lifts, so it kind of doesn't matter as hardcore. Let's delete these. Now, a lot of times I just do the floor. I'm kind of considering maybe actually making this entire floor out of 4 meters for the first time. Nah. We'll do my normal thing. Now, the good news about blueprints that I have yet to actually use, but we're going to try it out now, is you can, put them on the hotbar like a lot of other stuff. So anything that I find myself using a bunch, like I know I'm going to use this concrete grid. This is probably going to be my most used blueprint by sure. Just is because trying to set this up is annoying otherwise. So let's get this. Whoops, nope, still a little bit more. Let's get these edges to match, and then from here on out it should be a little bit easier for me to do. Because now I can just be like this. Wow. And just like that, we have so much space to work with. A ludicrous amount of space to work with, really. This is kind of funny, though. I didn't realize it until I was, experimenting with this stuff last night. But I mentioned when we made this space elevator, I was like, yeah, that's really the only thing that, has the whole, everything flying into it, and there's so much going into it, it takes a while for it to go into. That whole, animation. But if you make blueprints, you can make the giant superstructures that take a while to fill up. And this isn't even, the Mark III blueprint designer is really tall. I didn't use that part, but look how tall this is, right? It's taller than that. I think it's 12 tall, 12 meters tall. I just went for the 10 for an even easy number. Okay. This is where we got to figure out what I'm doing with this. So let me carve out a hole here. Get a little peeksies about what we're trying to do. Swap back over to the regular conveyor line. All right. Now I could I could cheap out here when it comes to setting this up. And by cheap out, I just mean rather than setting up conveyor holes for every single one of these and going through that mini nightmare every single time, I will just have an open hole, and then I'll need to get the other foundation types, because you can get half slabs. I just haven't done it, but you can do that and then obviously fill this up, or you can do in the meanwhile stuff like this. Just have foundations overlap each other whenever you can. So yeah, I think that would be the fastest way for me to at least get this process going. poopage. Okay, this one's a little bit more awkward. Just because of placement. That's okay. We can still make our micro adjustments. Yeah, hopefully these blueprints will make a big difference for us in getting some stuff started sooner rather than later. Especially, I have quite a few blueprints for road things. Not really too crazy. I could have been like, oh, I'm going to make like intersections and curves and all that. But we'll save that for another time. Although not the curves part. I try to learn curves, making curves in this game, and it's not happening for me. It's too much effort when I could just make an ugly 90-degree turn that is basically functionally the same. I am a master of squares. Okay, so we've got my lines, sort of. I need to we'll do like this. And like this. Oops, not that one. There. All right. So enough space for it to come through and look reasonable, and a little bit of like space afterwards too. All right. Now we got to figure out how I'm going to do this. So, obviously, each of these is supposed to be their own dedicated line. Hold on, let me get rid of this. I awkwardly found out that, so with blueprints, you can set up your own categories and subcategories for organization, which is great. What I learned the hard way is that these do not get carried over if you copy and paste your blueprints to another save. So I had everything like super organized, exactly the way I wanted them, copy and paste them over, and they were all in undefined. So I had to do it all over again, which is why some stuff is in like awkward places, because I had the benefit prior in the other save where I was just like, oh, junk stuff was already in junk, so they didn't get accidentally mixed up. So yeah. Let's see. Let me look at my list. We are good on this. Oh yeah, I need to head back to my other base. There are all the stuff at my other base is maxed out, which we can obviously solve, but not our immediate concern. Let's see. So beforehand, we were gonna have 9 overclocked constructors. Okay, this is not helpful for me currently. I'm pretty sure it's just going to turn into I need 10 smelters. So let me figure out what I'm going to do. I think it'll just be this, smelter C. Let's get this figured out. I gotta... one other reason why I don't want to do like the blueprint design and stuff just yet, manually, there is an unlock that allows you to kind of like stay in the air significantly longer and basically just like hover and float in comparison to just like sputtering around like this. And that is such a nicer mode for designing your factory from above. So yeah, I think it's just going to be 10 per, right? The question is just, where am I going to put it? And where are they going to go? Now, I did set them up with the recommended line of like the manufacturer goes back the way the resources came back in. So I just have to trying to get it figured out. I think there we go. So now if I got myself a splitter and connected over to these two, we should be fine. I could also just do this. We can make this a splitter. Hold on. Splitter. I will go ahead and we'll do this. Into this. Now, I haven't gone too overboard crazy. Some people literally, like, they'll make stuff like this, their modular little thing, and then they'll have the individualized recipes where you could, like, have this stuff preset for every single one. And that might happen eventually for me, but there's only so much I can do in one night before I'm like, yeah, let's just get back to playing the game. I don't need to make every single smelter an iron or copper or other one in the blueprinting. We will just do it ourselves. We're already saving so much more time doing this otherwise. Now, the point of this floor is that it's a logistics floor. So I don't really need this to be, like, the prettiest thing ever. How can I send my splitter right now? Okay. If I do it like this, I'll have to, yeah, we'll probably have to send it out like this. Hold on, let me start bookmarking this. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a button to open up blueprints directly, so small awkwardness having to actually go over to each one. What else? I almost wish some of this text could be put on the hotbar. But we'll figure it out. So, boom. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't actually think I made... Oh, fuck, I never did the merger. I didn't do the merger correctly, I don't think. There was a little bit of awkwardness with me figuring out the way that the blueprint designer direction faces. Oh, geez, I didn't realize. I also put the... okay. Sorry, I'm just learning how this is. So the blueprint designer has like a specific direction that it's facing, and I didn't realize exactly how that worked until a little bit later on in me designing stuff. It was right about here, which is why it's like, oh, whoops. So I have the splitters. They face where they need to. In regards to that white line there, that points to where the blueprint like terminal is, and so this one, which is like throughput splitter, goes in this direction, and then whenever I need to connect it, just gotta keep the cables facing the right way. It's just awkwardly going through the fucking ground here. There we go. All right. I gotta, like, I guess use a combination. I think what's going on is because this is a blueprinted grid in the first place. If I'm on blueprint autoconnect, it tries to do weird shit. Whereas default autoconnect does what I was trying to do here, which you can see so much faster. So much faster. Oh my god. All right, so back to it. Let's get our, I can do this. Split the smelter C. I gotta be a little careful here because some of these things are trying to connect automatically when I actually don't need them to just yet. So we'll do just default. Now that is like a new thing. Blueprints weren't able to auto-connect conveyor belts until 1.1. which is really tragic because I gotta imagine how many times people had to like manually connect their modular blueprints over and over and over again. All right, this is the small problem I have with this kind of recommended design with the merger in the middle. With the way that I did it beforehand, you only really needed the one line to go into splitters, and then you had to still figure out where the mergers were going afterwards, but that isn't that bad, right? When you're outputting potentially way smaller amounts of stuff, but oh well. Let's do conveyor cables. Uh-oh, I am out of concrete. Wow, how the fuck did you get up here? Shoo! Get out of here! Alright, I need more industrial concrete. And then maybe I need to actually head back to my other base and grab concrete to throw in there in the first place, because obviously I'm going to be burning through a lot more concrete a lot more readily. What else might I need? There are some recipes that I made that are a little on the expensive side in terms of stuff I don't really have. It's mostly like stuff with the roads or signs. There are things where it's like, oh, I'm putting down a road and it uses billboards, so that means crystal oscillators. But we have at least a little bit of crystal oscillators from just randomly picking stuff up and making some ourselves, so it will equal out. We should be fine. Let's do this. Whoops, and this. What's happening here? Maybe Satisfactory Modeler was correct. Yeah, Satisfactory Modeler was like basically telling me that my base is deficient in 2 areas. We don't actually have enough to be making the stuff that we're doing here, which is all right. I just didn't expect it when you have situations like this where this is like mega super duper full. Although obviously that was on us. Making sure that these are all going as fast as possible. I'll turn that into a Mark IV too, just in case. Everything must flow. I know we're about all these still ingots. This is like perma-full, basically, from before. But this is then supposed to technically be running at a deficit of like 5 to 15 or something steel ingots. So it should empty out. The big thing I have to be concerned about, I think, is here. I think this is also going to be at a deficit for steel pipes, but this is like 3 industrial storage containers. Oh, it's 2. 2 industrial storage containers, 1 regular one. So we should be fine. Let me actually upgrade these so that it is realistically represented. So if I see this number progressively going down with no replacement, then it is true. Okay, whatever. It should be a small number if that's at a deficit. I think it's like 7 or something, 7.5 pipe. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a master at using Satisfactory Modeler, so I don't know where, like, oh, I messed up, or if it's, you know, just a small mess up within the program itself. It is a free program made by, I don't know how many people. I assume, obviously, at least one. But it's a man-made free program that you can get on Steam and maybe otherwise too. I don't actually know if you can get it off of Steam. Not on Steam, rather. But I can't complain too hardcore about something that's doing a ton of work and keeping certain information clearer to read. So let's get this connected, and I will go from this side too. Blueprint. Sorry, wrong area. We gotta do it like this. Where are the outputs on this? Okay, yeah. We'll do like this. I should put regular conveyor belts on this one as well. I'm just so used to conveyor belt on 3. Oh, this split differently than I thought. Oops. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, did I put... Okay, I put this the wrong direction. Right. Okay, yeah, that's better off for us. So these are just gonna exit out. I'm just gonna have a conveyor belt connect to this. Whoops. Oh, I was trying to put you on the 4. There. So we'll do the same thing. This will go out upwards. I will start the power on these in the meanwhile, so that they can fill up the lines. Uh-oh. This is the part where I realize I didn't set up really any power lines over here. That's okay. That's why we have power towers. Okay. Throwing myself off the edge. Can't do that. I will avoid the giant tree. Be a little reasonable. I was about to go underneath it. It is a cool visual. And sometimes I like to work within a little bit of nature. I just really haven't done it too much so far. Oh my god, I missed my landing. There. Probably should have made a power tower blueprint. Just like a little bit of, put it on a foundation, maybe like 4-meter foundations. Though these are pretty tall. I don't know if it probably can fit barely into a Mark III designer. Okay, let's connect it now like this. So at least it's a little bit on the ground. How far out could I make this go? Obviously, I can just connect it to here, but I'm just curious. Yeah. Whoa. Oh my god, I can go so far. Can I connect it to there? I could have. I could have. Hold on. Okay. I will dismantle. I think I'm going to dismantle this line. Because it should just connect to the same spot. And then that way I can do this. That will allow me to turn on the other base. And then let me see if there's anything I can quickly grab from my main base. It is a little bit awkward when you do it from the side like this, but oh well. I shan't sweat too much. I did learn something that I didn't know until last night, as I was kind of like looking at the occasional tip video. So I thought that biomass burners stopped at solid biomass, but apparently they can burn packaged biofuel too. Oh shit. Okay, I did fuck up here. You can just very clearly see it, my power outage dropping. Ooh, okay. So what would this do? It would do 2.4 per minute. Which... how much is that per log? It's basically like 10 biofuel turns into 10 solid biofuel turns into 10 liquid biofuel. So they're okay. I do think this is probably just the more efficient thing for me to do right now, while I don't really have infinite canisters. I mean, I technically have infinite canisters. I just have to, like, if I like connected it over to this base, we could do that. I could do something. I could have the fuel go up into here instead, and then connect this to that line. It just wouldn't be very valuable. I do all that work and then it wouldn't get used because it would still, the biomass burner would still work the same way, it wouldn't run while we have excess power. Alright, here's what I can do, maybe. I will connect this power line to here. And then that should hopefully get things going. Because I think that's what was going on. I think there are far less connected things here than I originally thought. Yep. The towers are the power. I should look at the MAM real quick. Because we should be... I think it's circuit boards. Blah. Blah. MAM. Sorry. No, I'm trying to make a MAM. Forgot I had a hard drive on research. Ooh, flexible framework recipe. Is that cheaper? The steel rods are an interesting one too. I think that might be valuable. Because you can then obviously do other crazy stuff like turn the iron rods into screws and then those screws into everything else. But how cheap is this? Because yeah, I don't have framework stuff automated just yet. Okay, let me look at the regular recipe. Regular recipe is 1 modular frame, 12 steel beam to make 2. I'll just go ahead and do this. Keep the reminder up. Then we gotta look at this. Alright. So this uses less steel beam in exchange for 30 rubber per minute. It does use the same amount of modular frames, then it burns through them a little bit faster, I think. What's the default versatile? 5 per minute. So yeah, it's a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient on the steel beams. Intriguing. Let me look at rods. Do I have anything right now that I would like need those rods for? I mean, rotors, I guess. Rotors, and then obviously that will then be able to turn into more reinforced plates for the modular frames and so on and so forth. Okay. We've got an idea for that. Obviously there's a point where like having half of the recipes or all the recipes is just so nice for all the hard drive stuff. Everything can combine into everything. Yeah, I'm hoping to make, I think after we get this iron factory set up, I'm gonna upgrade hub. There. After we get this factory set up, I think I'll make an upgrade to my main base and start getting some of these resources centralized somewhere. Okay, so this can go onto a wall. Oh, I never made concrete walls as like the actual material, right? Yeah. That's so awkward. There's so many little things that add up. Son of a bitch. Bucket then? Whatever. I was gonna put a concrete wall. I can do a my blueprint, but I'm gonna half try not to do that. As weird as that may sound. All right. All of these are flowing. Very good. So that is 150 going in per side. Which will then output into 300 each going up. Where I will then have to figure out what we're doing with the constructors. So let's go ahead and get another floor going. Boop. Boop and zoop. Oh, I forgot to grab concrete. Oh well. We might be able to make this work regardless. Okay. I don't got to make it too high. It just has to be above the smelting line. All right. Say farewell to these foundations. And hello to a whole new floor. Okay. I think it'll be easier if I have a bigger platform to work with here versus just one foundation. There we go. Yeah. Okay, just not even over here. A little bit overkill. Obviously, this is all just going up. Although I guess this has me curious. I didn't really design my lines here for any connecting to each other. They obviously can connect between their types. I know that much. So like smelter C can connect to smelter C if I had it rotated the right way. Which for some reason sorry, it just confused me. Dismantle this blueprint. But I didn't fully plan for like back-to-back on them. Like the goal is that they link into each other via other ways, but just not like through the conveyor belts themselves from each one. So I think we should be fine though. We'll do a splitter. Actually, what I might do, hold on. We'll take advantage of a different feature. This is another thing that wasn't available beforehand. Let's send this high up. But before 1.1, you couldn't add conveyors or splitters to the vertical parts of conveyor lifts. Which is also why it didn't occur to me. I can just do that now. Although they do have the limitation of only being able to split out two ways. That's fine. We only need that. Constructor line. How am I gonna do this? Okay, so this is the way. This is the way. Although I could do it a little bit closer. We still need to do more splitters and mergers, or maybe we do it like this: splitter merger. Okay. Splitter. Connect to your belt. Connect to your belt. What happens if I delete the lift? Ah, intriguing. Okay. I didn't know that's how that worked. Maybe that's how come making conveyor lifts on holes is so weird now. Because you genuinely have like a vertical exit here. Okay. Vertical. And seems to be fine. Excuse me. Whoa. Not where I thought that was gonna go. I just wanted it to nudge. Like one down. There we go. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that is how some of these things connect via the blueprint mode. Huh. So if you make a 6x6 grid and then use blueprint mode, you can easy snap it to wherever, you know, it relatively was made within the designer itself. Cool. Hold on, I still need to get these lined up the way I want them to. You do get a little bit of leeway with blueprints, with being able to just kind of like throw them in the air. And that means I can at least try and get these lined up for some level of respectability. Okay. Pour concrete. Oh, my concrete in my belts. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I guess that's one downside of doing the blueprints. They burn through resources so quickly. Holy shit. This is one of the other reasons why I gotta make my upgrade to the central base. We gotta start making use of these dimensional depots a lot more. So I don't have to backtrack as much. Or even just having like a more centralized storage that's closer to the where I'm working is good too. We'll see. A part of it comes down to trades. Trades. Okay. Give me a bunch of these. We're burning through a bunch of them because all of my blueprints are Mark IV. Partially to save me the headache of needing to upgrade them within our own tier. Though obviously with the downside of I'm running through this shit super fast. I mean, this burns through 100 in one click. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I need to make a dimensional depot over there by the concrete. The industrial steel beam, that is. Let me on. Oh my god. plates. Those are also necessary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Berry. What have you found? Okay, copper sheets are those are okay, Barry. Not everything can be end game material for massive amounts of coupons. What else does this use in mass? Wires, regular wires. Let me take all these. And then we'll drop off some of them over here. I'm sure this is going to be running out at some point. How is this doing? Oh! I ran out of motors. Wow. But why? This is running at 100%. This is good. This is also good. So at 12 per minute, there should be technically 7 going that way. I understand there's kind of like a splitter problem going on. I think this is also no, okay, it's not configured to that anymore. Oh wait. Oh, this is the problem. This is the fucking problem. Jesus. I forgot about this because this kept on filling up. So I did this. Here. Loop back into yourself. That should help this saturate a little bit more. And how are the motors doing? We've got a couple hundred. We'll see if maybe I can upload those. Yeah, here we go. This needed more steel beams. We can at least have a few hundred going here. Okay, concrete. Do I even have Mercer spheres on me? I should, right? Hold on, inventory. Yeah, we got 6. Rookie numbers, really. I get so much more. Let's get this upgraded. Keep it maxed. Whee, woohoo! How much could I get from this if I just max this out? So 300 per. All right. I think I can do this. Oh, it's right there. It's so close. Five. 333. One, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. This is ridiculous. I was not built for the math. So I just brute force the numbers. 2.5. 4. 2.2. 3? Thank God. Jesus. Alright. I figure, you know what, screw it, I should take advantage of this being a pure vein anyways. Oh my god, look at my consumption! We're at 2,000. Holy hell. I might need to make that extra power bank. Thankfully I have some blueprints for that. Though I don't know if I have the resources on me for that. Hold on. I have a few different ones. I have the crazy one. Wait, where is it? Here we go. 25 power storages. And then I have more reasonable ones. Like just 4. Although inner little room with a cute little design. That one will have to wait until I have more crystal oscillators. Maybe. But it has made me notice that I need more modular frames. Frames. All this is stopped up. I think this is full. Alright. Keep the production flowing, damn it. Good enough. It's just some shit's gotta go. I gotta get rid of these berries. Alright, we're gonna do 2 things here. I'm gonna try a couple of stuff. So I do have my original hypertube designs. They're under roads and tubes. You have the crazy ones, which I've marked as red for danger. Look at this thing. This would launch me out of the map. Not useful. So I downgraded it to 10. I also had one that was a little bit smaller, like 5? I don't know where that went though. Alright. We're gonna do a small little... This isn't something I'm going to use too much just yet. I think maybe once I'm in a much higher phase, I'll use them a little bit more often, but like I just wanted to show this. And show how ridiculous it is. Oh my god, I'm completely beyond where I wanted to be. But also almost exactly where I need to be. Wow. The jetpack does obviously allow you to like cancel out your momentum, so I could have stopped it a little bit earlier. And I think the parachute is also used for that. Never really tried. But I think what I'm gonna do with the Hypertube blueprint, so we'll use it still, but what I'm gonna do instead is we'll put them down, and then I'll cut off the end part. Just take this out, and then have that accelerate me into a regular Hypertube. So I get kind of, I think, a decent compromise. I get the speed of the big launch, but into a tube rather than like throwing myself across the entire map instantly. Alright. Let's get this connected. So I should probably get some power going on this. Oh. Oh, whoops. Okay, that's already maxed out. Jesus. I truly was expecting that. Do I even have enough slots for everything? Yeah, okay, that's good. I could have made them like pre-connected, but I it's one of those things where I don't really know exactly how I'm gonna ever do my design, so might as well just figure it out whilst we're there. Okay, that's 10 of those hooked up. We'll do the same thing. We should be getting close to Mark 3 poles. Let me check the MAM again. Let's see. Caterium Mark 3 poles are, yeah, it all comes down to high-speed connectors. And then circuit boards, which I could be doing these right now, actually. I just need Caterium to get started. Oh, boy. All right, I'll put that on the list. Caterium. High speed circuit. Whoops. Circuit. All right. Bum, 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 bum. All the ones except for the ones I'm even working on. Did I unlock ceiling lights? I did. I might throw down a couple. You also have, I have a couple of blueprints. Although I need to make some more because these are all billboards, which I don't technically have actually unlocked. But these are kind of fun. So these are pre-set up with a certain thing. Let's see if that works. Nice. Okay, yeah, that is saved into it. Cool. So surprisingly, you know, this unpowered billboard does generate light. To be fair, I guess, you know, the original purpose of them was also to like display text. So they guess you could just say they have power built into them. They are pretty expensive to make because of the crystal oscillators. Oh, I can't duplicate the recipe because I don't have billboards. That's funny. That's interesting. I'm pressing middle click to to look at the cost. But otherwise, if we put down a billboard, it, you know, it has what you do when you have regular signs. The whole enter your text and the background icon, all that stuff. So I figured I might as well set up some billboards for lights. later on. But like I said, we're going to be a little reasonable. I'll actually put them down when we have the blueprint or the actual item. In the meanwhile, ceiling lights. Actual ceiling lights. I do think that ceiling lights are... they're weird. They are kind of better and kind of worse in some ways than the billboards. Like they generate actual like bigger amounts of electricity. And obviously they're affordable much earlier on with the resources that we currently have. But I feel like they sometimes generate too much light, and unlike some other stuff, you can't like adjust them just by themselves. You have to have a circuit to do the adjustment. Which then leads into the problem that like if you have every single light on the same light circuit, it's just weird. It's just weird getting it set up in the way that I do things, which is kind of having basically everything on one master power line. Well, that is all right. Let me... go ahead and get some of this power going to the next floor. This is what I wanted to do. Hold on. Do I have the next level of ceiling outlets or wall outlets? I do. Okay. I wasn't sure because I just haven't really used them that much. That actually might already be level 2, but okay. Oh, these aren't connected to this. That's fine. Somewhat. What I actually could do is do the same thing over here. And get some of this clutter out of the way. Okay. A little bit better, a little bit more what I want. Minus this. Let me add this to my wish list. Grab concrete wall and billboard. From Awesome Shop. There are also a couple other things. I just don't remember off the top of my head. If I looked at the list, I think it would come back to me. All right. So this is... this is the smelter. Smelters going up into constructors. So we need one more floor. I think this one was just like 10 up. Which I think we can just do that. Oops. Sorry, I'm just trying to get these somewhat where I wanted. Also, I realized I was looking at my my frame rate wrong. I've got a weird new monitor in terms of like it has the edges of it a little bit curved away by like the smallest fraction of a degree, and what that ends up meaning is that when I'm looking at it from my angle, I see at the top left 65 FG. So I thought I was at 60 FPS, but actually if I adjust myself to the left, I see there's actually a 1 in front of there, so I'm at 160 FPS. So when I said, I was like, oh, I'm at 60 FPS. No, that was wrong. And you were probably looking at that going, that's a 160. What are you talking about, GaLm? And that's my bad. I apologize. I keep forgetting about that little quirk with what we've got. All right. Let's get the concrete grid. Can I get this to what I need? There we go. All right. I was hoping to do like a quick lineup. I just we're just going to keep on doing this manually. So it's like one more nudge. And then way more nudges this way. Holy shit. I think that should be fine. I think that's even. Alright, what was the first thing I was trying to make? So, we were gonna do, I think we were doing wires. And this should equal out, I think. Let's do the math on this. Iron. Nope, sorry. Wires. So we were trying to do this. At trying to think of how many constructors I would need for these. The math is eluding me. My brain's like, I'm trying to be like, do the math, and then there's just like nothing. There's just a flowing line. Beep. All right, so we have 300 iron ingot. So I need to about do 300 divided by 12.5. That's what I'm doing. Okay. 300 divided by 12.5. So that's 24 constructors for maximum efficiency. So I can technically shave off 6 of these. Yeah, fuck it. We'll shave off 6 of these. Or at least what I'll do is we'll disconnect their line. Well, okay, I don't actually need to disconnect the lines. I can just have them turned off. I'm just thinking, what if I want to do expansion? I don't want to have to come back up here and then, like, do all these over again. Better to keep it even and then just keep the power off. So, we need power. Oh, I haven't done these at all. Jesus. That's okay. Let's do a quick little test of things. So this is... These aren't powered up yet. Ingots. Ingots. Okay. Now this needs to get a connection through. Let's do... this into here. Fuck. Here. Now hold on a goddamn second. There we go. I got the wrong smelters running. And these were already going, I think. Yeah, you can see the line filled up. Alright. These should probably back up eventually. Let me drop off some of the random ore I have on me. Okay. So you're gonna turn into wires on this side. Whoops, iron wires. 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 I'm gonna go ahead and still just copy and paste these. Because from what I've seen, you can't access the power bar on this until it's actually got something selected. And I don't think we're ever gonna change the actual production lines on this. Although some people do. Some people combine different belts into different things that they need, and then they use a splitter or a smart splitter to change the outputs of those. So I could have had, like, this turns into, you know, iron ingots into this, and then this could get turned into, or like turn that into wire, this could turn into rods, then they could just come into here to some centralized storage. And then who knows from there? Could I guess I could just delete this without having to delete the rest of the line. So it doesn't currently need to go up much further. And then technically, because of that, now I can keep doing that. Intriguing. We're learning. We're learning. All right. So if I get the power up, then I'll just need to figure out how I am transferring these resources around. Let me open up Steam again. So I don't know if I was going to, I don't remember if I was going to turn this into like the reinforced plates here. Hold on. I gotta refresh my mind on what this even is. So stitched iron plates was the wires and the iron plates. then you have this bonkers one, which is super fast, and we don't like super need either, but like we'll see. And then we need the alternate modular frames, which is the screws and the plates. Yeah, okay, and that's why we're doing screws, cast screws, and the plates so much. And then I guess I'll just figure it out from there. Fuck. I wish I remember exactly what I was gonna do with the wires in terms of like their numbers, but instead I will just output this, so this can go up. We can do, I'd like to do a merger. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I think I can do a merger and just turn it this way. Eh? Okay, okay. Now the only downside on this, as I don't know where the hell I'm just fucking winging it super hardcore. I don't know if I want to send the resources up or send them down, because I don't want to make like an infinitely tall tower. I want some level of reasonableness, even if I'm kind of going in random ass directions currently. I think what I'll do is we'll keep going up, and then the final intended product of the place will go back down to the bottom. And then the bottom of the place will be like a truck floor or train station, or even like maybe the second floor could be that. Alright, so I'll go ahead and delete this for now, because we don't know exactly where that's going to need to exit. Okay. At least I think we've done a solid job. These are all lined up vertically, which is great. Wow. Just do the awkward thing of fucking about with foundation stuff. Up. It is funny that even with the conveyor belt line stopped up, it still moves you. Imagine if they tried to realistically simulate a conveyor belt, it would just be an optimization nightmare. Because technically, I think the way these work is space magic. Just coding shenanigans. Like, this is a visual representation of the iron ingots on there, and obviously they're like general models, but it isn't like every literal individual ingot is appropriately tracked across an entire world, which would be nuts. Which is why you can go into like your settings and you can turn down how many things show up on a conveyor at once as they go through. Which I don't think you could do if this was just accurately tracked or like represented the entire time. Alright, we gotta get my power flowing. I think what we'll do... Oh, that's another thing I need. Hold up. Half foundations. And we'll say asphalt material. I don't know if I have the money for all of those at once, but we'll see. Okay. We need power. Outlet. We'll do 2. Mark 2. Stand on here, go up. Same thing here. We'll just use little tiny tricks to speed up the process. So awkwardly, I can't necessarily do that on the next floor. Hold on. Because I need to make an upgrade. Okay. So what I'll probably do for the other 2 of these, we'll probably spread this concrete floor outwards and appropriately try to keep these the same as this line, you know, just like pretty vertically synced up all the way up until it combines its material out. But in the meanwhile, we're getting our practice. We're making appropriate designs. I think I made 2 right there. Nope, fine, okay. I did contemplate making a blueprint of some floors with like stuff automatically painted to represent where things need to go, so I could keep things organized. I probably really do need that, but like I said, after like 2-3 hours of like very tiredly making stuff, I decided against it at that particular time. Good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, this is ever so slightly off. Oh no. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At least these are synced up. I guess I should do a ceiling light here too. Just a ceiling light for all the floors. They're just, ooh. Okay. This is a bad idea. But I'm doing it since we already have the outlets placed. I'm not gonna bother keeping these symmetrical either. Can't be asked. This cable's like blocking the line of sight of actually doing this, Jesus. Okay, is that everything hooked up? That felt too quick, but I guess we're good. I did a little bit of a goof. I forgot the quick wire was about to be used up there. That's okay. If I have to spam a bunch of Mark 1s in the meanwhile, we shall. Yeah, I thought Mark 3s were going to be Mark 3 like pull types and outlets were going to be circuit boards. I don't remember what I'm thinking about that requires circuit boards. Obviously, they're important. So we'll see. I mean, computers. What were crystal? No, we were able to craft those. What can computers be turned into currently? Just the adaptive control unit? Okay, and then the circuit boards. Computer and adaptive control unit. I guess they aren't really necessary for me too immediately. Okay. Oh, wait. This is not all connected. Feels like I'm missing one every floor, but I guess we'll see when it all turns on. All right. Let there be light, let there be production. Even if it doesn't necessarily have anywhere to go just yet. That's okay. I think I'll go ahead and just do that. Oh, that didn't work out at all. Jesus. Alright, solid enough. I will go ahead and allow this to accumulate a little bit. Who knows how long it's going to be before I get things done. Here's a little thing I can do, a little trick I learned while fucking about with the blueprint designer. I didn't realize that conveyor lifts... Like, I know that conveyor lifts can snap onto things in general, right? But I didn't realize how snug they could get for some areas. So let's keep on trying to get this a little on the close side. I think that might work. Nope, needs to be a little smidge closer. Maybe that one's fine. Son of a bitch. I was ever so slightly off centaur. Really? Really? That doesn't connect, huh? All right, and here I was just complimenting you, conveyor lift. Wow. Okay, I guess we'll just have a little line. Whoops. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. Fuck it. I think we're just gonna default it. I was trying to make like a solid connection, but this just keeps being off by like just this little smidge. I think it's one of those things where the floor is like 1 meter difference, just a little bit too high. Like one foundation's worth. Okay, keep this centered at the very least, and we will just try again. They aren't snapping. I mean, this should be close enough. Maybe this one not so much, but this one maybe. Son of a gun. Yeah, whatever. If you're gonna keep on refusing to go on the straight and narrow path here, we'll just go with defaults. Okay, so let that accumulate so that this can keep running for a bit. At absolute worst, hold on, I want to make a Mark 1 outlet. At absolute worst, since I don't know how long this is going to be, you could do an awesome sink as well. And we'll do Mark. Fuck it, you can do Mark 1. The intention is this is going to be deleted eventually anyways, but at least we can, I don't know, make like a tiny dent in my income. And hey, 16 coupons. That, combined with what we currently have, should be enough. Yeah, should be enough for everything that I was trying to, that I want to go buy. Okay, so that's one thing relatively done. Obviously, while we are making 500 wires per minute, I can only really get 480. In the meanwhile, so really I should probably turn off a couple more things. Although I already did do the division of stuff, although I guess it's still going to be making 534-ish. I need a conveyor output. Conveyor throughput monitor. Can I put it on the vertical sections of it? You can't? That's sad. That's a missed opportunity. But, oh well. They combine up into this line. We'll let that get calculated. And then I'll make a little sign reminding myself. Hold on. So this is 22.5 times 24. Yeah, alright, yeah. It's 540. We just don't have the logistics capacity for it just yet. Square sign. Actually, I guess I should do a label. Label. 4 meters. Alright. This is 480 in, 540 being produced. We'll say can be produced. I'll cut off a couple of lines to make things even out. Wire. Background, I'll make the background orange. And then we'll make the text like white or something. Okay, maybe not white. Maybe like a gray, and then like a darker orange. That is ugly as fuck. But it looks nicer outside of the editor. That's for sure. Oh wow. Material settings, glossy. Nope. Maybe not glossy. Maybe matte. Mission level 2. I was hoping this would allow the text to be put on a separate background. That would be nice. I'll go ahead and do this. Or what is? Can I change the arrow of this? Ooh. I need a right arrow to indicate in. Even though I'm still gonna put in just the wording of in there too. Okay, that works. So 40 in, 40 can be produced. One of these lines up here can be turned off. Although technically they fill themselves out anyways. I don't need some of these to be running. So at 22.5 times 3 2. Just making sure that is correct. I guess I'll just turn off 2. We'll turn off 2. I'm not going to try and do any like underclocking shenanigans, because by the time I get these back on, I don't know if I'll remember that I have underclocked them. I mean, I could write it down here, but it's the difference of like what, 5 to 15 megawatts? Not a big deal. All right. That is one thing currently done. I don't really need the wires to accumulate. My goal is to like use most of what we're producing outright. Although obviously by the time I get like an increased logistics, we'll have to expand the line. All right, what am I doing? What was I gonna do? Ah, right, I need Caterium. Wahoo! I'm seen you like so many times, yellow slugs, but I'm leaving you alone. One of the last things I was thinking of doing, but I never did, was making a coal power plant blueprint. But I think I just forgot to do it. It's not a bad idea. There might be times where I want to like use, say, compacted coal. But I did make a fuel power generator blueprint for when I actually start to try and do that, so I can get that done pretty quickly. And it's also auto-connectable, which makes me happy. Alright. It said, let me get some quick wire. And then maybe also work on this base a little bit. How's my power? How are things doing? Things are smooth. Things are smooth. Very good. If I wanted to make a bunch of power things, it would just be wires and the modular frames. Not bad. Okay. Let's get this rock blown up if I haven't already. Yeah. Tier more normal, very nice. For a second I was thinking it was impure, but I think that's just the sulfur veins that are close by. Speaking of which, let me do another scan of things. Is there any other Caterium ore nearby? As I know these two are sulfur, or pure, impure sulfur. We have another Caterium ore. Oh, cool. All right. This one could be very relevant. We'll put a marker on that one. Caterium, normal. Stamps. But in the meanwhile, we're using this one. All right. How much can I get from this? Should be the same thing as the other one, right? Whoops, sorry. Mark II. I put Mike. Mike 2. The better version of Mike. Better watch out, Mike 1. So at 300... Sorry, Caterium. 300 ingot. Unlike everything else, a little less efficient. It's 3 Caterium ore per 1 Caterium ingot, so that should be 100 ingot per minute then. Quick wire. Oh shit. I didn't realize our blueprints got added to like the master search list. Oh wow. So I should have 5 times 300, 1,500 quick wire per minute. I think no, wait, 500 quick wire per minute actually, right? Because it's 100 ingots, not the 300 ore. Then times 5. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do with 500 quick wire immediately, but there are times a coming. Okay. Let's get this on a world grid. How high can the miner actually go once you have foundations? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Wait. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I think that works. Oh. Okay, not the way I thought it was going to, but that's fine. This is like going... yeah, it's doing this, which is bizarre. That's okay. All that matters is we have the output here. I should probably get... We'll just make a regular power line. I was thinking maybe I'll do a power tower, but... do I even have the resources for it? I do. Okay, fine. Power tower platform. I wonder if I have quick wire sitting in a box, like back at my main base. Oh. Hold up. I already have a power line pretty damn close anyways. Yeah, sometimes it can feel like a little overkill setting up a power tower, but this is gonna be like a full production thing almost. I mean, it's gonna use the hell out of everything on this node. All right, so let's do 300 divided by 45. We need 7 constructors. Annoying. 7 constructors or a little bit of overclocking. I think I'll do the 6. we'll do the overclocking on 1 or 2 of them. Okay. So let's get this started. Wall. Okay, I might have to expand out this way. This hill is a little in the way, and I don't really want to make the building raise up too much. Alright, constructor. Oh, sorry, blueprints. Constructor. So I can either do... We'll try this out, the 2 quick constructors. So this is... Looks like I have to expand a little bit more to the right. There we go. Auto-connectable constructors. All right. So the goal for this particular blueprint, we'll go ahead and get this a little bit closer. Actually, I probably will just need to expand out first too. Hold up.
tree.
You know what? Maybe you can stay. We'll see. Yeah, in comparison to, like, say, making the 10 factory line. Oh, this is where I realized, oh wait, I was about to put down constructors. Did I make a fucking... Never mind, it won't matter then. These are constructors. I need to make this into ore. Fine, we'll do the other design. We're doing 10. And then I have to break it down from there. That's fine. This is the awkward starting phase of us using blueprints. Okay. I'm just trying to make it so that this can split reasonably. I think that'll work. Okay. Put these leaves out of the way. Go away. The bushes are just so damn tall. It is impressive just how many like individual entity leaves there are in the game overall. I feel like it's very excessive. But impressive again in that like the performance is fine-ish. In my head, 144. Maybe I should move my FPS marker. Let me do that real quick. Put it at the top right. There we go. Okay, so now whenever I look at my FPS, I can actually see the extra one without having to lean my head for this monitor. I'm just so used to having it up there on the left after all these years. All right, let's get this reconnected. I gotta kill the leaves over here too. You're going to become biofuel. Okay. So let's get things dismantled. So this needs to be a Caterium ore. Copy. Copy. I guess I don't really need to... We'll do the same thing we did with the other place. Because at some point we'll be able to upgrade the miner here to level 3. And then that will have obviously more resources come out. I assume maybe even literally double the amount. In which case it should be 600. Let's see. 600 divided by 45. Would you look at that? We would to just overclock even more constructors. Alright. Did I copy and paste it across? I didn't consciously register if I did. It just naturally did it. Don't forget to have a Fix-It protein bar, now with 10% more natural ingredients. Yay! But what if that just means it was a small amount regardless? Oh well. For more nature. Uh-oh. Okay, thank God. So we need to turn off 4 of them. There we go. And then one of them can be overclocked. Maybe to burn 90 per. So that's 300 divided by 45. Actually, I guess 265 divided by 45. I'm trying to get this smoothly set up. I think I did the math on that wrong. Minus 45, it's 255. Okay. 255 divided by 245. We're ever so slightly off, but I think it's okay. I think this will still equal out. It might not be genuinely max capacity, but I think it will still be. Here's what I'll do. I'll turn on one of these other ones. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And that can be the one that makes up the difference, rather than me overclocking one, using a bunch of power, and still not getting the math right. Anyways, let it just be underclocked. Or rather, not fully saturated. And then this is where it's awkward, because I need quick wire for what I want. That's okay. Over here as well. I really should, like, I don't know, make a list of, like, things that I need to do whenever I'm making, like, power lines. Like, what are my goals for setting up power versus just, like, winging it all the time. These can still get power. Or eventually. Now what do we do with this? Okay. Let me look at the ingots real quick. So, ingots 15 per. I make a regular constructor. Alright. So for quick wire, oh boy, it is going to be 12 per minute burned. So let's divide 100 by 12. I need 8 constructors. So we'll just have to do the same thing as this one. Turn off a couple of things on the floor above. Vertical. Ah, soup. Soup. That is 6 across. Let's get our grid here. That looks a bit more on the even side. And no. Needed to be one more notch. Alright. Good enough. Constructors. I think this will work. Because we're going to turn this into a splitter. And then this can go... I don't know. This can go back down into a quick wire storage thing. Because we can't really... There's nothing really for me to turn the quick wire into at the moment. I mean, AI limiter, I guess. Huh. But at least then that can just go out from like here across the land or something. Or we could make a truck. We'll do a conveyor for a while, I think. I think we've earned it. Oh, God. I don't know if I have enough for this. We're gonna find out. Okay, good enough. Alright, let me go check my base real quick. Maybe. Fuck it. Alright, what am I doing? Okay. Apologies. My brain sometimes loops into like, well, I don't got the resource. I need to go get it. Meanwhile, I could just use the level right below it. Okay, I just wanted to get that out of the way because this is potentially going right back down here. Into a wonderful thing like a storage unit. Alright. We need power. We need power. That's the point of all this. Okay. One thing you can do, I'm gonna do right now, just because I don't really want the cables to go through the floor. Even if we've done it a bunch so far, it's just kind of been out of necessity